Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Under Fire. My name is Sam and I'm here with Sam.
Hello, how we doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
Yes, I'm good, mate. I'm very good, thank you. I am a
Good.
bit cold out in the garage, but I'm good. Settling
Good.
in nicely.
Good. I'm excited for this episode.
Yeah?
I don't know about you. But
Yes, I am also excited.
we're going to do something different. The last few episodes we've done in a row have been quite heavy into tactics and rules and all that stuff. So we thought we'd take a step back and do something a little more fluffy. Although I suppose not too fluffy, because we are going to talk a little bit about rules, but theoretical rules.
Yes.
What we're going to do today
we'd like to see.
Yes, basically. A bit more of a sunny blue sky thinking sort of episode. We are going to take two characters each from the extremely large universe of 40k characters of which there are to choose from.
Massive.
And we're going to... ridiculously huge when you actually think about the sheer amount of Black Library books and codexes and stories and stuff. And we're going to pick two each that we'd like to see have an in-game special character. We're going to talk how we'd like them to play. We'll talk a bit about the background of them as well. I'm sure most of you are familiar with them, but talk a bit about the background, how we'd like them to play, and what sort of model we'd like to see for them. So if you're listening, Games Workshop, this is free. Top level.
We don't need paying for this. We're doing this for free.
We're doing this for free. So in a few years' time, if these models get released,
we've called it
first. We've called it. So let's go. The way we're going to do it is we're going to talk about two at the same time and sort of flip between the subjects. So, who is your chosen first character?
Okay. My first, now that, like you say, there is hundreds. There's lots and lots of different characters out there from 30k with any war bands. Any of the legions and all of the Xenos stuff. There's all sorts of bits and bobs out there. But now the reason I've chose this is these were my first love. The Dark Eldar. The Dark Eldar were my key ticket into playing this game. I mean, you got me into it, and you just gave me, I believe, your starter set, the other half of the starter set, which was Dark Eldar. But the second I read one of the codex, bought the codex, read the codex, looked up like the fluff and whatnot. I suppose actually back then we wouldn't have looked up anything. Internet wasn't as a regularly accessible item.
Codex.
It would have been the codex and what books, paper, actual words on paper. Dark Eldar, awesome, absolutely awesome models. And when they see before, which codex would this be? I believe this was 6th edition. The codex that I'm holding in my hand. I believe it's the 6th edition codex. I believe I had the 5th edition or the 4th. I can't remember which one. But I can't remember this character being in those books. I can only remember him being in this book. I think it's the 6th edition. And the character that I am referring to is the Serpent himself, Duke Ciscus.
Ooh.
Absolute bad man.
So this guy has already been in the game but has been removed subsequently.
That's correct. So he was at one point. He never had a model, but he had a data sheet and a profile and whatnot. He was a usable character, which you could have just made back when you could just make a character up and convert them how you wanted to, and they had rules for them. Happy days. Now it's not as simple as that. If there isn't a model, they basically got rid of them.
Yeah.
But this guy, I remember that when they updated this codex, which would have been this, I think this edition's codex was around 2010 when they did the big rework, which gave Dark Eldar basically all of their new kits that they basically have today. complete overhaul of the whole army. But I remember reading through the special characters. So this is back when you could have had Vect as well. You could have Vect and a couple of like now
they had loads. If I remember,
they did. Yeah, they had an awful lot. They had about 6 or 7 characters, and now you're down to, what is it, 3? I think you just
3.
got Mr. Rakoff, Drazar, and Lilith, isn't it? That's it now.
Yeah.
So the reason I have chose my wish list to be Mr. Duke Slisk, I can't say his name. Every time I look at the name and I think Slisk, it is Sliskus, isn't it? Sliskus. Sliscus.
Sliscus. Yes. Sliscus. Yes.
Sliscus. Something along those lines.
Well, that's what we're going with.
That's what we're going with. Every time I look at it, I read it differently, but it is the same. Yeah, Sliscus. I remember reading from him, and he basically is an Archon. Now, as we stand today, we haven't got a special character Archon at all.
Yes.
It's usable in the game. You can just have the normal Archon. So that's why I've chosen, because I think that's what they need. They need a nice special character Archon to be able to front an army. And I think he's literally one of the best characters I've ever read. Is just such a cool, all the fluff and sort of backstory to him is he's like David Bowie of the Dark Eldar sort of world. He's like him from Labyrinth, you know what I mean? He's described he's always like a well-dressed, really stylish geezer. And he's basically a pirate. He literally is the definition of what Dark Eldar should be. He's a pirate.
He's a corsair, is he? Dark Eldar corsair.
Yeah.
I believe,
yeah. Which he's fluffy.
I mean, anyone with the title Duke,
the Duke,
like, it's just cool.
Yeah. it's just this. I don't know where to start. He's just an absolutely awesome character. I believe he is in. Is it Lucas the Trickster, the book?
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, is he the main, like?
So I've read that book.
Yeah, I've not read it, but I've seen like just a few things people have said saying it's actually really, really good. And
it's
he's
amazing,
an absolute cool badass mother. In there. So that is something that I need to have a read, because I didn't know there was any Dark Eldar reference in that book. I didn't know that was.
There's as much Dark Eldar in that book.
Yeah.
As there is Space Wolves. There's sort of 2 stories going on at the same time.
See, that's just...
And he's a big part of it.
Right.
And he in that is just like... he's obviously on his sort of pirate ship type thing, and he's got this weird sort of garden he goes to where he keeps all these... I don't know, you know what Dark Eldar are like, just weird
shit.
Things.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit in it where he... I can't remember if it's in this one or it's in a different Dark Eldar one, but I'm sure it's this one. He's got a Lamium with him. Is it Lamium?
Lamium.
The women.
Yeah, not the medium. The women.
The women, and she almost daily tries to kill him with poison. And it's just become part of their daily routine that
trying to kill him.
He tries to and just
I
think you're right. He's just Dark Eldar.
It's just beautiful though. It's just just continuously trying to kill each other. I know all of I know that is just how Dark Eldar work, the hierarchy of whatever and all this sort of stuff.
But he doesn't punish her.
No,
he just welcomes it as part of life.
He loves it. Yeah. But like from the bits of fluff that are in this from the 6th edition codex and that, which is the last one he was in. I believe this is the 6th. I might be wrong. It might be the 5th, but I feel like it's the 6th. He basically he's continuously eating toxins and eating poisons in his food and stuff like that to build up in like his tolerance to all sort of like poisons and all this sort of stuff. And just an overall badass. And like I say, do I have to say any more? He's a pirate. The man is a pirate. He's pissed off that many Archons and other people. He stole like cruiser ships from other rival Archons and stuff like that, and then he just sods off into the sunset with like
Jack Sparrow of the 40k universe.
It literally is, and he's he's sort of got this cult following of just like renegades and sort of like the lower sort of, maybe the people that haven't got, in the Dark City, that haven't quite got as much chance as some of us. They all love him, and they just see him as this like rock star, and it's just like, how cool is that? This man's just robbing people's chips and just going, no, whatever, Sam, try and poison me, I'll just keep, happy days in the distance.
Yeah, you should get the Lucas the Tricks. You should get the audio book. That's what I listen to.
Yeah, I definitely.
It's well worth a listen.
Yeah,
it's well worth a listen. Lovely.
But
I'll say who I've picked.
Yes.
Then, who should I go with first? I'm going to go with this guy first. I have chosen a man who calls himself the Hand of Destiny.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And who other people call the biggest dick in the universe.
Yep.
I've gone with Senior Dark Apostle of the Word Bearers, Erebus.
Don't say it. Oh,
I've said it. I've said it.
Said his name.
I've said his name.
It's like Voldemort. Not allowed to say it.
It is. Most people just refer to him as Dick, but I'm not going to go too deep into the lore of Erebus, because I think most people listening to this are going to know who he is. If you've read the first 3 Horus Heresy books, which if you haven't, you should go and do now.
Definitely.
You know Erebus and you hate Erebus.
And if you don't know him, just Google him and you'll
just read the first paragraph.
You'll find out why.
He is basically almost single-handedly responsible for the mess we're in now. To put it simply, he started the downfall of Horus. He corrupted Lorgar, and I didn't know this, but he also corrupted Typhus, as well.
Oh, right.
Directly,
okay.
Yeah. And then indirectly, he corrupted everyone. Really, he was the first domino to fall, if you like, in a way.
The first true dick.
He was turned to chaos before he was even in Astartes. That's how early in this man's life he'd
that seed was planted.
Committed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was planted well early.
It's a deep rooted. Yeah,
like I said, I won't go too deep into his Horus Heresy background and all that, but he's a dick. Now I didn't know, because I've only got so far into the Horus Heresy books. I've got about 15, 16 books in. Yeah, I didn't know if he was still alive in modern day. Is that the right word? In the
today's society.
Yeah. So I was googling like, please be alive, because I really want to pick him. And luckily he is, and he has very recently become quite relevant.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know this either, and this is I didn't know this because I didn't pay a lot of attention to the lore around the end of 7th going into 8th. When they did the was it Rising Storm or whatever it was called?
The sort of the end of the Psychic
the end of 7th, wasn't it? Yeah, no, not the one before.
This was pre Psychic Week.
Yeah.
The end of the Triumvirate stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he is currently Senior Dark Apostle of the World Bearers. He's continually fighting Corphaeron for leadership of the Word Bearers, because apparently Lorgar has been basically in a trance for the last God knows how many years. So
he's just tricky.
He's looking to lead, basically.
Yeah.
But during the 13th Black Crusade, which was when Abaddon blew up Cadia, he was there.
Yeah. Oh, was he?
And he led the Word Bearers to perform millions of human sacrifices to summon an army of demons.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So he's still up to his pesky little ways then?
He's still up to his pesky little ways. No. And I thought, is he going to be a demon prince, something like that? But no, he's not. He's a Dark Apostle, and just still doing his Erebus things.
You see, so he's not a demon prince.
No.
The irony, that irony that is, he has done all this for chaos, and they haven't made him into they ain't granted him the highest boon that you can give to like an Astartes sort of thing.
Maybe he's a bit like Abaddon. He doesn't want it,
Yeah, true.
He turns it down.
That's true. He's probably he'd be a badass. He'd be an absolute weapon. Yeah, they probably don't need it, to be fair.
But I thought it'd be interesting to sort of bring him back to the forefront, because
definitely,
I think, especially with Guilliman being back, I assume Guilliman would know who he is and why we don't like him. I think that'd be really cool to see from a
definitely
lore perspective. You know,
definitely that as well. Actually, how beautiful is that? You've sort of got like the Abaddon is now the new Horus.
Yeah,
and he's still being backed by this sort of
Erebus is there.
Erebus
whispering
is
in his ear.
There, still being that. That's be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what Abaddon's. We're talking like these are real people, but you know what I mean. In the lore wise, what Abaddon thinks.
They're real to me.
What Abaddon thinks of Erebus. That'd be quite cool if they brought that more into the story. There probably is.
Yeah,
I don't know, but yeah.
Like I say, I think I might, now I know he's there, I might go back and read the Gathering Storm stuff and the Fall of Cadia and stuff, because although I've heard they're not very good, I do think stuff like that would be quite interesting.
Just to know where we're at,
But yeah, there's not much more you need to know about him. He's not as cool as, he's a different sort of cool to Duke.
Yeah, he's not the stylish pirate type, he's more the scratch markings on your face type. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So, how would your character, how would you like him to play on the tabletop?
Okay. Now, I've got probably a bit of an advantage because there is...
You already have rules.
A rule set from what he used to be, which, I'll be honest with you, I think would transition quite nicely to the Dark Eldar, into the Drukhari. Yeah. Now the Drukhari. When he was about, they were just the Dark Eldar. Now they are fully the Drukhari. So... Personally, I mean, the fact is, this sort of like pirate, whatever, you'd, and he would be an Archon. The rules that he had before, it's all about sort of like the toxins. He's a lover. He loves the toxin. He loves a bit of a poison. Yeah, Dark Eldar love poison. He should buff like he used to. I'll be honest with you. There's not much I would change from his original sort of original sort of data sheet. So what he used to be able to do was you could pick a unit of Kabbalite warriors at the beginning of the game. I mean, back then as well, he must be deployed with the unit back when you had the old independent characters, sort of thing. So he had to join the unit. And then all their splinter weapons were upgraded so that they didn't wound you on a 4+, they wounded you on a 3+, which I thought was really cool because it's his sort of extra knowledge of poisons and all that sort of stuff. I think having probably an aura of that would be too much. I don't think being able to
pick a squad would be better.
Maybe pick a squad a turn. He's got to be within 3 inches or so, something like that.
Yeah,
they can then use his toxin stash and happy days. You can like 3+ to wound with splinter rifles. If you had a full 10-man unit of something, it's horrendous.
Yeah, especially if it was an aura, that'd be
yeah. I don't know how that will work now with the sort of the updated splinter cannons, because that could get a bit nasty with the new profile that they're going to get. The 2 damage, wounded on 3s could be, especially if you hit something like a demon prince.
But you can only put one of them in the squad.
You can only choose one.
So
yeah, you can only choose one. I mean, yeah, it would be a core unit. You have to choose a core unit, like we're seeing across the board now and that sort of stuff. I think that'd just be cool. That'd be really cool. Him himself, I would say the man has got to have some sort of just poison blade. He's got to have some nasty ass blade or power sword of some description.
It's the blade's got to be 2 up poison.
It's 2 up poison. He should probably be a badass in combat. Not necessarily a badass, but more of an annoyance. I feel like he'd be like a duelist. He could duel you quite well. You know what I mean? It'd be like a duelist sort of thing going on. But yeah, definitely like
maybe an invuln or something.
Yeah, maybe like the Wyches have got a dodge. Maybe some sort. I don't know, something like that. And obviously him being an Archon, he would probably have, like the Archons have, the Shadow Field now, so they've got a 2-up save. Invuln save until they fail it. You know, something. I'd probably use that, and then after that, if you fail that, he automatically gets like a 5-up invuln or something like that. I don't know, something along those lines. and from the fluff, and I believe, let me have a look. Believe his old rules. Yeah, it had low orbit raid. So he preferred. This is one of his old rules. He preferred to attack with raiders, venoms, and ravagers, and all that sort of stuff. And basically, what he used to do is give all your venoms, ravagers, and raiders the deep strike special rule. So it was sort of like low orbit, boom, straight in.
Yeah.
It's kind of that pirate hit and run feel to him.
Really?
I don't know whether they could put something like that in. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a stratagem that just specifically, if you have Duke Sisyphus in there, you can do something.
There's a stratagem already.
Oh, do they already have?
There's a stratagem already to deep strike raiders. Yeah, so maybe he gets that stratagem for free or something.
Maybe, yeah, that's.
I think there's a stratagem to do with units that can fly.
They do, don't they? Yes, they do, don't they? Yeah,
they have. They've got the webway one, and then they've got a separate one for flyers, I believe.
Yeah,
maybe he gets that for free. That'd be quite cool.
Maybe he gets that for free, or it allows him to do it for a couple more units or something like that. If he's the warlord, he gets, I don't know, something like that. But I think from his fluff, he loves a toxin. He loves a poison. The man loves it. So very much themed around, and he's called the Serpent, for Christ's sake. So something around the poisons. I think the old rule that he had, which was the Serpent's Venom, which is basically he gave another unit, a one unit freeze to wound on their weapons. That'd be the key thing. That'd be the key reason you take him. And I think build it,
especially
on
this
that.
edition.
Yeah, definitely. But I think you're right on the just choose one unit, and you could choose a different unit each turn, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he's got to be like within 3 inches, say, or something.
That is cool.
You
know what? Just having this conversation has made me really want to theme my Dark Eldar army around him already.
I know.
Just
he's cool. He's very cool.
Just the pirates coming in. Yeah,
it's just all that you imagine, but then it's these pirates coming in, but then you just got this absolute, like, everything that in the fluff is just this stylish, like it just he's dead. Actually, there's one little bit I'll just touch on that. He says, I was reading this. He says his skin. He basically has a load of people that bathe him and scrub him clean into the point where his skin is basically translucent. Right. Every time he comes into contact or has to breathe air of a lesser being. What a diva! The man is a diva.
Wash me.
Wash. I've just breathed the same air as a Morkai. I need to. You know what I mean?
Bathe me.
Bathe me quickly. Definitely. But that is how I would run it. I would have him. It's all about the poisons. All about the venom.
About the venom. Cool.
How about Mr. Erebus?
Mr. Erebus. It's a similar sort of thing, really. So if you take in your Duke guy, you take in an Archon as the base, and you sort of doing an upgraded Archon. Erebus is clearly going to be a Dark Apostle 100%. On another level.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and actually, it's a similar sort of situation because Erebus does have rules in the Horus Heresy game.
Oh, okay,
that you could bring out. But they're from an older edition again. But I don't think Dark Apostles existed, so it's not ideal. It gives you an idea 40K? Of stats and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a newer thing. There would have been chaplains, wouldn't they?
Yeah, there would have been. Yeah,
he'd have been a chaplain, wouldn't he?
So what I thought was Dark Apostle stat line, but leadership 10. This man is.
Yep.
He's so obsessed with chaos, and he believes, there's nothing you can do that's going to make his faith shake at all. So leadership 10, and obviously because he's a Dark Apostle, is that going to be too powerful?
What,
I don't think so, because
leadership 10.
Yeah, so the Dark Apostles at the minute, I think it's if you're in line of sight of them, you can use their leadership, I believe, or a range or something like that.
I don't think that's too much. I would probably say
9 normally.
A range. If you're within range of him, of probably like a fucking 12 inch or something, 6 inch or definitely. I don't think that's.
They can use his leadership, which I think
definitely.
He's just shouting. I imagine him as like a preacher, just screaming crazy stuff for her.
I assume to the word bearer of today, he is basically up there with Logar. He's, you know what I mean? In
I would imagine,
how they look at him, it would be he's, you know, yes, he's basically one down from Logar. Follow him.
Definitely, yeah. So the leadership 10 to everyone. It's prayers, because the apostles have prayers similar way to the Space Marines have whatever they call prayers now. What are they called? Litanies. They go off on a 2-up. I think it's 3-up at the minute. So you know.
Yeah.
Just taking a Dark Apostle, just taking it up a level.
Yeah, definitely. Probably.
And then I thought
another couple of litanies on top of it. Like he could probably do like an extra litany and stuff. Then
yeah, or give him a specific one. I don't know enough about litanies to come up with us, but something that fits his sort of flavour.
Some badass aura. Yeah.
And then I thought, because I love this story of him during the Cadia fight, just sacrificing. It literally says performed millions of human sacrifices, which, because I'm sick, I thought sounded really cool. So I thought it would be cool to give him some rules surrounding the demon summoning, because I love the demon summoning rules that they exist.
Yeah.
And I wish you saw them used more.
Yeah, I agree.
So I thought maybe some sort of sacrifice thing. So maybe you can take a squad of cultists, remove them from the table, replace them with some demons.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be sick. Yeah, that'd be really
sacrifices them, because what it would do is it would mean you're not. So at the minute, say I wanted to take 10 bloodletters and I wanted to summon them in. Currently, I've got to keep all the points for those bloodletters to one side as reinforcement points.
Yeah.
Well, what if I did this? I had my cultists, and I only needed the difference in points for the bloodletters. So I don't know how much points are, but say a cultist is 10 point, a bloodletter is 20. I don't need to keep 10 points extra to summon that bloodletter. So it's lowering that amount of points you're keeping off the board.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. That's
obviously
cool.
Taking the risk. If your cultists get wiped out, you
that's a cool idea, though. That's a fluffy, and like they wouldn't know that that's what they were there for. They just
definitely
thought,
not.
They just thought
this is our moment.
We have been chosen, man. We are going to you know what I mean? We are becoming Astartes. They've promised us that. Happy day.
We're going to ascend.
And then they
just rip them to pieces.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be cool. Because I mean, word bearers are all about that sort of demon summoning craziness.
So see, I hope they keep that, because for the Dark Eldar, the summoning stuff is not in the Codex anymore. So the new Codex, there isn't a way of like doing the summoning, but for the word bearers, that should be there. If they're going to get rid of it for everybody else, that should be the niche for word bearers.
Yeah, definitely.
They are that sort of. They are pure evil
that way.
Yeah.
Cool. So the model. There's never been a model for Duke, so you've got free reign.
Yes. Well, literally. I mean, I've
David
seen
Bowie.
It's basically Bowie. It is Bowie. Bowie crossed with Jack Sparrow. That's what I've got in my head. There is some artwork. I don't know. I've seen some artwork. I don't exactly know where it's come from, whether it is actual original artwork. And there's probably more out there. But some of the pictures that I've seen are basically just all the description for him. Like I said, is very well dressed, like really, really like impeccable dress, sort of
flamboyant,
Dark Eldar, flamboyant, nice frilly bandana or something. You know what I mean? He would just. That's how I see it. Very much Bowie in the 80s.
Do you know what I'm seeing?
With Jack Sparrow.
I've just last night watched Thor Ragnarok.
Yes.
Jeff Goldblum's character in that.
Just
that sort of
base him on Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Done.
Definitely. That would be cool.
But yeah, I think in all seriousness, I think he should have a really cool looking, like probably splinter pistol, something like that. He should have a cool looking splinter pistol, bit different. Maybe it's a 2 damage, something like that. It wounds, like I say, better because he's all about them poisons. And a cool blade, probably not a pass up. Maybe just something. I don't know. Kind of feel like it wouldn't have something massive, but it might be like a bit more flamboyant,
like a fencing sword.
Yeah, like a rapier or something like that. Yeah. And just loads of little cuts and stuff like that. Or maybe a cutlass, a piratey cutlass. I don't know.
Double
something
down.
like that. But yeah, but just he'd be, in the Cabalite armor. It still looks like an Archon, but I just imagine him to have like a cape and it'd be a bit jeweled and you know what I mean, that sort of thing.
Yeah. A little bit like Sigvald.
More. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
maybe not got his arse out, but
no, not quite.
Definitely bare head, nice long hair. I feel like he would take the time to make himself look pretty beautiful before going out to maim and kill. So he'd have to look quite good looking. I'd say he'd be quite a good looking chap. You know what I mean?
Definitely. All them baths.
All that, yeah. Although, like they said, he's scrubbed his skin that hard, it's basically translucent. I don't know if you could get that across in a paint job.
Yeah, that'd be difficult.
It'd be difficult, but probably very pale if you were going to have him painted. But I think there'd be colour in there. Definitely a long cloak. Very. Yeah. I want to work silk. Silk would be on the drawing board. I feel like I put that on the what they called.
Mood board.
The mood board, that's it, yeah. There'd be silk.
Velvets,
purples and reds and yeah. Get very excited just thinking about it.
I know.
I wish I was in control of what they make, I'll be honest with you.
I'm going to send this file to them and then they can just make it.
If they don't, it's a travesty. I've given them what they need.
On a platter.
But yeah, definitely really, really focus on the gun as well. I feel like he would have a flamboyant ass splinter pistol and a flamboyant weapon. And he'd just be awesome. Absolutely kick ass. What about yourself with the horrible man that is Erebus?
So I went a bit. I feel like this is either really cool or it's going to be a bridge too far for some people. It will definitely be one of those models that has split people. So Erebus's big thing is that he's got tattoos of the Book of Lorgar text just all over him. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. And in my head, I just feel like he needs to be shirtless. Bare chest. Yeah, just bare chest.
Okay.
With all the tattoos showing. But then just scrolls hanging off him.
Like scrolls that have been like nailed to his biceps and chest and stuff. Yeah, I get. Yeah.
That'd be sick. Just scrolls all over the place.
Yeah.
And then the tattoos, I think you'd have to have them modelled onto the thing, so they'd probably look a bit more like scars, I think, on a model. But
deep.
That works for me. If he's like cut into the text,
definitely.
And cool. I'm going to say this: this man needs to be on a rock.
Oh hell yeah! Hero rock base all that way.
Yes,
100%.
I love a hero rock. Right,
they went. I do. It was last year was the year for the hero rock stand.
I'm all right with that. I like a hero rock. I mean, Harlequins. Every single one of my troops is on a hero rock. You know what I mean? I accept hero rocks.
It's a lot of rock.
But I feel like, sort of in my head, I'm just picturing crazy preacher on a rock.
Bare chest.
Sculpt the face like he's screaming some next next litany.
He's got to be he's got to be holding the Book of Lorgar or something in his hand.
Well, his 30k model, he's got a staff with a book on it.
Oh, okay, right.
So if he's got that and the book's on fire and all and just proper extra.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he'd be cool.
Would you have him slightly bigger? You know, like Abaddon is obviously he's bigger than a normal Marine.
Yeah. You want to scale him up,
get him swole.
Yeah, not a bad in size, but definitely
it's a bit bigger than the average Marine. Yeah,
take him to that Primaris, plus a little bit more level of
definitely
the Chaos Swole.
He's been booned.
He has been booned, but that's it. So that is Erebus.
Lovely.
Let's do our next picks.
Okie-dokie.
Do you want to go first, or shall I go first?
I don't. I'll let you go first, sir.
Okay. I have chosen, and it's a difficult one.
Okay.
I'm going to call the model and the unit the Avatar of the Laughing God.
Okay. Yep.
You've got an Avatar of Cain, which is a piece of the god Cain.
Yep.
Summoned. You've got the avatar of Iniad, which is Iniad.
Yep.
The god of death, putting its feelers out into the world. So let's have an avatar of Kigarak, the Harlequin god, the laughing god, the great Harlequin.
I like it. I like it.
On the tabletop.
I like it. I like it.
What have you chosen?
Right. Now, I've got a toss-up between two, but I'm going to go with my heart because that's what you should always do.
You should always follow your heart.
My heart is a Primarch.
Thunder.
Okay. And
which Primarch?
That Primarch is Mr. Lehmann Russ.
The Great Wolf.
The Great Wolf. The Executioner. The Man. The Wolf Man. The legend. He's an absolute legend. He's still alive. We believe he's out there in the nether, kicking demons and taking their lunch money. So
it's feasible.
It's feasible. There's a lot of things saying that he was the one that sort of sent the Wolfen back. So now we have the Wolfen again, because obviously at one point that was just there is some Wolven somewhere. There's stories of the Wolven and whatnot, yeah. And it says basically he sent them back. I think Lehmann Russ should return.
You believe he should be the next Primarch?
I believe he should be the next Primarch. That is my humble opinion, backed by the masses. Sound like Erebus there, but I think Lehmann Russ is my second pick.
Cool. So, avatar of Kigarak, avatar of the laughing god. Who is Kigarak? I hear you ask.
Who?
Traveller. Kigarak. And I've looked up the pronunciation, and it's actually Kegarak. Okay. But I feel like Kigarak works, but I'll try and say Kegarak from now on.
Kegarak, Kigarak, Abaddon, Abaddon.
Abaddon, you know.
It's all the same.
It's all, yeah. So, although he's the Harlequin god, he is an Eldari god.
Yeah.
And before Eldari split, he was one of their pantheons. So,
yeah.
He's the god of deception, stealth, creativity, art, and trickery. All pretty cool things.
Very.
Now he is the Harlequin-specific god. He is one of the only gods to have survived Slanesh's creation. So he is actually alive.
Okay.
As a god, if that makes sense.
Does that mean my lore of the majority of 40k is not very good? Does that mean that like the thing of Cain is not is that just the avatars are just a part of him? But what?
So Cain was split into hundreds of pieces, and I believe the avatar of Cain is using one of the pieces of him to bring a piece of him to the battlefield, if that makes sense.
With you. Okay.
It's probably an oversimplification, but Cain fought Slanesh and lost.
I see. Right, okay, cool.
Kegarak hid in the webway.
Like you should.
While Slanesh, and survived, and apparently just laughed, because that's what he does, he laughs at people.
Absolute bad man.
The reason the Harlequins follow him is because he keeps them safe from Slanesh. So, as all Eldar, when they die, unless they've got a soul stone on them, the souls will go straight to Slanesh. They'll be eaten, and it's not a nice way to go. Your soul being eaten by a god of chaos.
No.
The Harlequins, when they die, they become one with Kegarak rather than being taken by Slanesh. So he's always
is their god.
He is the god, basically. And he's always cheating Slanesh out of souls that she wants, which I like.
That is cool. It's very Harlequin.
It's very Harlequin. There's not a lot of lore about him, obviously, because it's a Harlequin thing, and they don't get a lot.
Yeah.
But one thing is that it's rumoured that he walks among the Harlequins from time to time, and that plays into the rules. But I'll let you do a bit of background on Russ if you want first.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail because most people, I would have assumed, even if their lore knowledge is small, would have heard of Mr. Lehmann Russ at some point.
He's not just a tank.
He's not just a tank. He is. Those tanks are named after that man, which is lovely. But he is the Primarch of the Space Wolves, who I adore very much. They're very close to my heart. I just love the feralness. The feral bit is what attracted me to Space Wolf straight off. These loyal dogs of the Imperium do what the master says. Yes, no problem. Before you butt in Prospero and all that jazz, they had it come in. Magnus did everything wrong. Move on, okay?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Move on, okay?
I'm letting him have his moment.
Okay, but he's just an awesome character. The whole obviously all the Primarchs got split up. Blah 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 blah. He lands on the death world of Fenris, frozen, icy, raised by wolves, like took in by Thunderwolf monster creature things, raised up and all that sort of stuff. It's just an absolute he's got such a cool story of I mean, to be fair, I'm a bit biased as I've not read that many of the other stories. I'm assuming some of them got pretty cool backstories as well, of like where they landed when they got found by the Emperor and that. But I digress. Just I think it's more my thought process for why is it is a good time to bring him back. And why is it a good time to bring him back is because the Imperium needs at this minute, in my opinion, to sort of obey the chaos back, because let's be honest, it's a constant. You get the chaos of kicking.
It's not looking good.
Kicking stuff and taking names and all that jazz. They need a savage. They need that executioner, that loyal. I will go and I will do the biz with. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Space Marine chapters that are very much we will sort it. Don't worry, we're off and we'll do it. But I just feel like they need that savage. Guilliman needs that companion. Guilliman needs another loyalist brother with him, side by side. And Magnus is about that. We have Magnus in the game. There's a score to settle. There's some stuff that needs to be said. Some more backs that need to be broken. You know what I mean?
I think what I think would be really cool is how Lehmann, Russ, and Guilliman would interact, because they would be on the same side clearly, but I think Russ didn't respect Guilliman because he thought that he just wanted to create empires and wasn't really about as much about war as Russ. Yeah. So it would be really interesting to see them clash on what direction the Imperium should be going in, because Russ would just be like, charge,
kill them.
Would be more. Guilliman would be more reserved, and that would make some really interesting books. I think
that's it. I think Guilliman would see that it's sort of like it's such a useful asset to have in that respect of, all right, he doesn't want to go rushing into things, but he will, and he can get the business done. Let's you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. I feel like it'd be interesting to see how Russ has changed as well.
I was about to say that.
What has that long been in the warp, chasing demons, taking names and all that? Does he come back and he is very much Wolven himself?
Because I know in the Horus Heresy books, although he is feral and crazy, he very much puts on that persona in front of his Marines.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to speaking to the Primarchs one-on-one and stuff like that, he is quite. He's obviously not chill, but he's got a bit more of that statesman,
a good
diplomacy stuff to him.
Yeah.
But he hides it from his wolves because they need to see him as things. So I think this long in the warp would have just completely took that side of him away.
That's what would be cool. Yeah, he comes back.
So it would sort of be the wolf unleashed.
Yeah. He's no longer got that sort of diplomatic-esque. I can do it. It's just let's just kick ass. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Which
definitely.
I'd be excited.
I love the idea of him being just that little bit wolven as well.
That'd be cool. Like sort of like the Hulk in the end game.
Yeah. When he's sort of merged.
He can be the Hulk, but he can sort of control it. He is a Wolven, but he can control it. So he can want it. But that'd be cool. That'd be pretty. Yeah. So,
lovely.
Right.
How would the Avatar of the Laughing God play on the table? Now, this is complex, so settle in.
Comfy.
I'm playing into the idea of him being the trickster god, okay?
Okay.
So what I've tried to create is like a 3-card Monty sort of situation.
Okay.
Where you have 3 cards face down and you've got to follow which one is the ace or whatever.
Yeah.
And the idea is to keep the opponent guessing. And what I also thought would be cool, because we have in Age of Sigmar Marathi.
Yes.
Where you have a model and then she transforms into a far bigger, cooler model.
Yeah.
We don't really have anything like that in 40k.
No.
Yet. I'm sure they'll do it at some point. But I thought this would be a good opportunity to put something like that in.
See?
Yeah. So, and this is stretching it, but I'm going to say it. The way I see it is you would buy the Avatar of the Laughing God box.
Yep.
You would get 3 Harlequin players, just normal Harlequin players, that were just modelled in a way to make them look slightly different, maybe a different mask or something like that. And then you would get the Avatar itself.
Yeah.
Before the game, the controller chooses which of those... You put them troops into those players into your normal squads, okay?
Yeah.
As if they were completely normal things, so, pay the points.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Before the game, you note down which one of those 3 is Kigarak's trickster, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that is the one that's going to become the Avatar.
The Avatar, yeah.
They will only become the Avatar when that particular Harlequin is killed. Okay.
Yeah.
So that does 2 things. Your opponent doesn't know which of the 3 he doesn't want to kill. So that opens up some really fun things in terms of, I could bluff out, leave one of my squads open, looking like I want you to kill them.
Yeah.
So you ignore them, but then they're not actually the squad and it was all a ruse and stuff like that. Trying to keep your opponent guessing which one is the Avatar containing squad.
That's cool.
Then, but because it's when the model is killed, you also get to choose a little bit when you bring the Avatar out, because you're choosing which casualties to remove.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you could, the first time a model gets taken out of that squad, boom, you could bring the Avatar, or you could wait to remove it last.
Yeah.
Again, it's keeping your opponent guessing which one. Now, to balance out, I did put that if you do decide to bring the Avatar out, any models that he was in a squad with are instantly killed, just because of,
Yeah.
So that then, like, do I want to bring it out early? Do it,
Yeah.
Keep that sort of guessing. So that's what I tried to sort of bring in, is sort of bluffing, not letting your opponent feel safe. Do I shoot that squad? If I kill that squad, am I going to end up paying for it?
Yeah.
Because it could help as well from an objective holding situation. Like, yes, I could shoot all them troops off that objective, but then the Avatar may appear,
which you don't want.
So I think it'd make for some interesting decisions for your opponent.
Definitely.
And I like things that stress my opponent out.
Yeah, making people think.
Making people think, making them make decisions. So, yeah, like a 3-card Monty.
Yeah.
Can you guess where the Avatar is hidden, sort of thing.
I like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool.
In terms of stats, keep him similar to the Incarn, just in terms of just being a beat stick, really.
Yeah.
Once he's out.
Yeah.
And then I thought, this may be OP, but he is quite difficult to get out, so probably not OP, to be fair. Giving the Harlequins reroll 1s to their invulnerable saves. Just because that is such a Harlequin thing, the fact they've all got 4
from him as well is kind of there.
Yeah.
The whole like army
just
wide,
in an aura.
Okay. Yeah.
Not army wide.
That'd be cool.
In an aura. Because you probably as well, the way he comes out, because it's when a squad's removed, he's probably not going to be close to that many things anyway. So it probably wouldn't be ridiculously OP.
True. Yeah.
But I thought that would be quite cool.
I like what you've done there. I like it.
I've tried to think outside the box, which I think is a Harlequin-y sort of thing.
Yeah, they're very cool.
What about Russ? How many attacks do you think Russ should have?
You can't write it on the paper. Right. Well, what I was thinking is actually, the fact you've come out with that Marathi sort of link it wasn't that what I was thinking of, but very similar to what you've kind of said yourself. Actually, is having a multiple model sort of thing going on. So
cool.
What I remember in one of the Forge World books, I can't remember exactly what it was. There was a it had some Eldar in it. I can't remember what the blue with the white, pale blue armor with the white heads. I can't remember what they're.
Mymeria.
Is that the one for the? Yeah, there was
the Craft World. Yeah,
there was a Space Wolf sort of detachment thing or a character in one of those Forge World books. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was Brian.
I know what you mean. I can't remember his name, but
Redmayne or something like that.
Yeah.
But basically, he had a profile where he swapped into a Wolverine. Now, what I was saying a minute ago, and what I was saying, Russ coming back from that many years out in the warp, killing stuff, blah blah blah. Has he become feral? Has the Wolverine overtaken him? What you could do is have, like you've just said, 2 models in the kit. You have Gilliman. You have Russ in his armor, looking a little feral, sort of whatever, with his sword, with his his weapons that he has, his axe and his sword. And when Gilliman dies, you can roll and he can get back up, can't he? With his armor. His armor gives him that extra. I think it's D6 wounds back, and he can come back.
Yeah.
Something similar to Russ. Either when he dies, you do that sort of thing and you roll and he could come back, or you just give him 9 wounds. When he hits 6 wounds or 4 wounds or something, he gets D3 wounds back, and then he turns Wolverine, and you swap the model out for a completely different bracket of sort of stat line, but now he's Wolverine. Something like that I thought would be quite cool. Sort of the Hulk turning, and then he turns into this.
You lose control of him a bit.
He's got some negatives, but he's just a savage in combat. You know what I mean? He's just ripping people open for days. So like the negatives could be, I mean, he could be a little bit like Gilliman. Not reroll. I don't think Gilliman should be the one that is rerolling everything. He should be the one doing that sort of stuff. But maybe Russ's aura for the Space Wolves is he is giving you reroll. I don't know, reroll all hits in combat, say, or something like that. That sort of thing. He is basically the Primarch chapter. So probably reroll hits, but then not have the wounds or something like that. Or maybe only can reroll ones in combat wounds or something like that, just so he's not over OP. Similar sort of stat line to Gilliman, I would say, probably. Just more attacks. The man has got to have
Primarch to Primarch.
Exactly. Maybe he's got 5 attacks, but with his sword or something, it's like 2 attacks a time or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like each hit is 2 attacks or something or whatever. Each attack is 2. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
But then have this. The floor kicks in, and he's got he sees the wolf and he sees the rage. He goes, he can't help it, and that's the floor he's got from being in the warp. And then he loses reroll hits. You lose those buffing things, or maybe you lose the buffing stuff like that. But if you're near him when he's in combat, you're now rerolling hits like in combat or something. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or rerolling wounds.
I'll tell you what would be cool.
Yeah.
Just thinking, and this is, I kind of think that if Russ was to go Wolfen, a lot of people near him would go. You know what I mean? Would go Wolfen.
They'd all
as well.
follow. Yeah, that would be. Yeah,
they'd all sort of. So I think there's some sort of thing. I don't want to be replacing every model with a Wolfen, but just something. Just something to see.
I would. If that was a rule. If that was a rule, I would be switching out.
Just they all start going a bit feral, definitely. Like,
that's it.
Chuck their bolters down, pull out a chainsaw, and just run in, you know.
Maybe he gives off an aura like if you're near him, then you get an extra attack or something like that. He gives off an extra attack as well as you.
Or he puts everyone into the combat doctrine.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be. Which I just think that's if they were going to go that sort of way, he's come back and he's a bit damaged, then he's a bit twisted. He can't quite control it like he used to be. that'd just be. And no, I don't. I think if anybody listens to that, or anybody would get that as an idea, there's not one person that would go, I wouldn't want to see that.
Yeah.
Everybody would want to see that as a thing. Like, that is, I'm not bragging, but that is a badass idea for us.
Yeah, definitely.
That is a cool
idea.
I would like to see that's sort of what I would. I mean, I'm being very biased, as he's my favourite Primarch, and I love him. But
you're not alone in that. He's a lot of people's favourite Primarch.
So, yeah,
right,
that's me.
Models.
Yeah,
I didn't, honestly to God, didn't know what to put for models, because we're talking the avatar of a god, and God knows I haven't got the brain to come up with something like the Incarn. But
yeah,
I honestly think a giant Harlequin would not look bad.
You just want Loki or something, don't you?
Like a big scary masks and stuff. And
what would be quite cool, actually, just thinking about it. I think it's in the popular game, but there is lots of others like it that you could play on World of Warcraft.
Yes.
When you're in the Ice Crown Citadel, one of the bosses is that big head where the head just rotates, and it's a different.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, maybe he's just got like a big head that rotates round, and you can leave that not glued and spin the head round, and have a different face.
I kept thinking, I've seen something somewhere with multiple heads, and I couldn't place it, and that's what it was. Yeah, the Ice Crown. With Harlequin masks. Yeah,
something like a sad face, cool. A happy one, an angry one, or whatever. You know what I mean? That would
look cool. Definitely. Cool. What about old Russ? The sword, axe.
I mean, like I say, in my mind, it's a way they could do it. They probably would never do it like that, and it would just be Russ. But Russ himself, I think back to how he used to look, just original, that iconic look of Russ's armor, because Guilliman is basically sort of what you imagined back then. It's just beefed up a bit, but that's sort of what's it. And same weapons. He's got his sword and his axe. I believe. I can't remember. I should know the names of the weapons, but I don't actually know the names of the weapons. Sword and axe, long golden hair. Maybe now it's white. Maybe white, long hair, grey, big beard. Fangs. He's gone big beard. Man,
I feel like he needs an eye patch.
In the wind. Yeah, a big eye patch. Looks
Odin
like
style.
Look grizzled ass, sort of whatever. And then the Wolven, if they did do it, the Wolven model, just like, he needs to be a big, like, dreadnought sized model, but just there needs to be like some big piece. That's where the hero base comes in. That's where the hero rock. I will allow it. It needs to be this big piece of like building or structure, and he's just King Kong in it on the side of it, letting out a big roar. You know what I mean? That'd be cool. That
would be cool.
That's my idea for that, I think.
Well, I don't know about you, but this exercise has got me excited.
I've got a semi.
I have, I think, and weirdly, the Duke Sliskus one has got me really like, I'd love to make him.
Yeah, definitely.
And do an army around him. Yeah. So definitely.
I've definitely enjoyed doing this. This was actually it's a very nice exercise.
It's an exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed sort of thinking and just looking like who was still alive from back in the day and stuff. And was cool. Lovely. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed it. Let's take a break.
Yes, I need a wee.
We'll come back and we'll do our hobby progress, etc. So we'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and it's time for hobby progress. I hear a rumour that you painted this week.
You would have heard correct.
Good grief.
I have done some painting. I've finally settled in pretty much now into the old garage. And I got it. I got down and did the good thing.
What have you been working on?
So I thought I'd just test the water. You know what I mean? I just dipped the toe. I didn't want to go too hard.
You don't want to pull a muscle.
You don't want to. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? There's a lot of
got to stretch.
I carried on with me Defiler for an evening, doing a bit of detail work. And what else did I do? I've sort of started making a few little random things because I've spent a long time setting up my my bits boxes, so everything's in the one spot. So I was so happy that I'd done it all, and like I have no sprue knocking about at all. I was like, I'm just gonna see what I can make. I'm gonna look through things and I just sort of fancied making something to paint up. So what I did start making was sort of a chaos, just a generic looking chaos marine, but in a cool pose. We'll do a bit of green stuff. It's not actually for Death Guard. It's not for an army. And I think I'm gonna paint it in sort of an Emperor's Children color scheme. I'm gonna go for just a Slaneshi looking sort of color scheme because it's good. I found some really weird pieces when I was going through the boxes, and there was some stuff that looks like looks like the front facing of a speaker. So I've sort of made the backpack. It's just a old Chaos backpack, but I've sort of cut it up and sort of made it like he's like basically carrying around a great stack, Marshall stack on his back. So I'm going to paint it up like a speaker, I think. But
that's cool.
Yeah, I was just having a general little mess about, really. I've not done anything too heavy. I've still got a bit of stuff to move. I've still got to find some homes for some pieces. But I'm getting there.
You have broke the seal.
The seal has been broken.
That's
I mean,
needed.
Not as an excuse, but I don't think I've brought it up that we're expecting a child, me and my missus. So there's been a lot of baby stuff that I've been having to do. A lot of decorating in the house and a lot of moving of stuff. So literally for the last 2 months, it's just been like all stations, go, get stuff together, get stuff moved. So it's just had to take the back burner, I'll be honest with you.
I mean, if there's one thing that can get in the way of Warhammer, it's children. So we're not going to judge you for that.
No. I mean, hold the comments. Not much you can do. But I'm slowly getting back to it, and then by the time I'm back in the flow, I will have a child and I won't be painting again. So
yes,
awesome. How about you?
Life.
How's your week been?
It's good. I'm back. I think I had a couple of weeks of feeling unmotivated, but I picked it back up. I finished another Harlequin squad, which then gives me 2 squads of 5 now, which is nice.
Lovely.
That took a while, as they do, because they're Harlequins. And then I started, and I know I keep saying that I'm on a Harlequinite, but I started another Kabbalite squad for the Dark Eldar.
Fair. That's cool.
I'll tell you why.
Drukhari's coming. The Codex
is coming, and I want to have an army ready so that we can have some decent... Because it looks like, as well, we're going to be playing games within the next... I don't know, in a month's time, maybe.
In about a month's time.
We should be playing games again. So I want to have a 9th edition army ready to go so we can do some proper comparisons. I can face this Death Guard head on, and we can have a few slobber knockers. So,
which I was going to bring that up when we do have a slobber knockers next. I think we should make an effort to document it properly so that we can. I mean, obviously, we'll have a few just to break the seal, just to get back into it. But like what we did the other week and that with the last
battle plan.
The battle plan. We'll definitely try and get that played out, and we'll do like a full review of what we found.
Yeah,
when
definitely.
We did it.
It'll be good because we'll do, obviously, when the Dark Eldar Codex drops, we'll do a review of that. We'll do then a closer look. We'll do a battle plan, and then hopefully by the time we've done those, we should then be playing games.
Be ready,
so that we can play the actual game, which will be cool. So so the next couple of weeks is going to be getting the Drukhari ready to roll out.
Yeah.
Which means painting some things and repainting other things.
Going blind in the process.
But that's about it, because I'm doing the Kabbalites. I'm doing 10 at once.
That's a slob.
It is, and I normally say never do more than 5, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking pummel this 10 out and just get them done. So it's going to take me a while to do. I think it's worthy of respect, to be honest with you. I think I'm an inspiration to millions, but
in these troubled times,
exactly,
there should be a monument erected.
There should. But anyway, so that's what I'll be working on and what I have been working on. Yeah. Do you have any plans, or are you just freeballing it?
I will probably freeball it, but what I am gonna definitely commit to, because the other night when I sat down and I didn't do much. I just a light
dusting.
I had so much fun. It's been so long since I've sat down and not. I put a little podcast. I put what they called the books that you listen to for
audio books.
One of those ones. put one of those on. Was listening to that. I was carrying on with the Talon of Horus book, which I have read. Actually, it's one of the. I'm not a big using my brain and my eyes to read sort of person.
Pages.
I struggle with word. So I like to listen to them a lot more, especially the Horus Heresy stuff. For me, it's very complex. The words are very
heavy.
There's a lot of stuff to follow. Yeah, very tiny little words on big pages, and it's just too much. Yeah. So I was going over the Talon of Horus, which is a fucking awesome book. While I was painting, so it's just lovely. So I had a really, really nice evening the other night, and in fact, so much so you tried to Erebus me and taint me towards the computer, didn't you? And I said I'm
I tell you what, I've never been more proud of you.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I didn't mean it in a bad way. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? It was just.
No.
I loved to come on the computer. I was deep and I was in it.
I understood. And you know what? I went and painted myself.
There you go.
I was like, well, if he's doing it,
I'm doing it.
Paint. I'm going to do it. So it works out.
We're changed.
Lovely. We're changed people.
Changed
right.
People.
Let's do Instagram picks.
Pick of the week.
Pick of the week. I'm going to go first because this one is a doozy.
It's a big one.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Hang on.
So it's
say I'm ready.
Said yes, and then.
Yeah. I'm far from ready. Sorry.
Not even.
You say it, and I'll.
It's the _ Warsinger. An easy one, easy to pronounce, easy to spell.
Yep.
Now, when you go on the page, you will see many, many, many things that could have been an Instagram pic. Specifically, I'm saying if you scroll down 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the 12th post back, it's an Emperor's Children army. And it is delicious. Heavily converted. I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest with you. Just beautiful. The tanks have all got these sort of organ-esque pipes on them, and there's tentacles everywhere, and they look like there's some nine-horn ghosty bits coming out of parts, and it's just beautiful.
That is a concert you do not want to be at.
Exactly. That is music you do not want to be hearing. There's some closer-up ones. He's even got on a Land Raider just a dude with a guitar, Mad Max style.
That's just cool. That's very cool.
It's just, it's my
thing. The horses coming out of the. That's just such a random thing, but just horses coming out of that. That's so cool.
It's just beautiful. The dreadnoughts and everything. I'm a big Emperor's Children fan. If they ever do an Emperor's Children Codex, I will be on it, like a bonnet, whatever it is the kids say.
Car bonnet sort of thing.
And to do something like this would be beautiful. I think it's great. And the whole page, like if you scroll down,
I'm looking for the stuff.
Have a scroll, and there is some just the Necron stuff he does. Is I don't understand it because I don't know Necrons, but it's some of it. It's just
beautiful.
I know the Instagram pic is mostly just going 10 minutes, but that's all you can really do when you scroll down this guy's page. So do check him or her out. It is the _ Warsinger.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Who have you chosen?
Right, my chosen is from a while back. I have no understanding of the language that would need to be said to say this name.
Okay.
Which you, when I
Spell
tell
it.
you probably will say it very well. It is TAGUEUEULEONJUE.
Taguel Anjou. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm a guess.
I think it's a phrase.
One of them.
Do you know what?
One of them French ones.
It sounds French.
It sounds French.
It sounds very French. I wonder what it's French for.
But the post that got my attention was his Outrider in luminous pink and purple colour scheme. It could be very Emperor's Children if you added a few tentacles. It looks like Tron meets just
neon.
It's like he's going on a go faster spot on like Mario Kart as well. So he's just about to get a speed boost. It's beautiful. Just really nice. Just clean paint job. Nice transition as well from the purple,
super dark purple to basically white almost on the corners. I love them transitions of that level. That is nice. And it's incredible. It's quite impressive that it's Emperor Children colours, but clearly it's Imperium. That you don't get that sort of traitor feel from it. Yeah,
but is that what he wants you to think? And they're
true.
Could actually be very much. It's one of them you got to get when you get really close to them and you look at them properly. You notice things.
Yeah, you start to see.
That's one
in
too
the
many
eyes.
Yeah.
No, that is nice.
But it's just stood out. I mean, it's going to stand out on your feed.
I'd love to see a whole army of it.
Right, it'd be very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Definitely.
But that is my pick of the week. Not a clue how to pronounce it. I do apologise.
TAGUEULEONJOUE. I'll put it on screen anyway.
Maybe that's how it's pronounced.
That could be
maybe
how
you
it's
have
pronounced.
to say it like that.
You just spell
it's
it.
Very
maybe.
possible. But great stuff.
Check them
Love
out.
it. Check them out.
Good. Anything else to add?
Just same sort of thing. Let's just hopefully we can play a game soon. Hopefully we get.
I think we will. The UK has set out a roadmap for escaping this lockdown, and I think within a month we should be able to at least outdoor game is plausible. So hopefully we'll be able to actually.
I definitely think on the roadmap speech there should have been a mention for the precise date that wargaming can commence again.
It's been criminally underlooked.
I think it very, very much so. Soon,
TM. Lovely. Soon. Hopefully, you all enjoyed this new episode idea of characters we'd like to see in the game of 40k. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment. Leave a comment of characters you'd like to see play on the tabletop, because there's hundreds, and maybe we'll steal it and do it in our next episode. So, and leave a comment.
Yeah, and then we'll get all the credit.
Exactly, and not credit you. Definitely.
Yes.
So if you did like the video, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and all the other things that the kids do nowadays. And we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.